Students, now I am going to explain performance of demand paging from operating system subject. This is one of the topic from demand paging. Here, by using demand paging, it can have a significant effect on the performance of the computer system actually. To see why, let us compute the effective access time, that is EAT, for the demand paged memory. For most computer systems, the memory access time, that is MAT. EAT is different and MAT is different. EAT is nothing but effective access time for a demand paged memory. Memory access time, that is denoted by what, MA, now ranges from 10 to 200 nanoseconds. That is the memory access time. As long as we have no page faults, the effective access time is equal to the memory access time. If, however, a page fault occurs, what is happening? We must first read the relevant page from disk and then access the desired word. Let here we are taking small p. P be the probability of a page fault. That value of p must be 0 is less than equal to p less than equal to 1. We would expect p to be close to what? 0. That is, there will be only a few page faults. The effective access time, that is EAT, based on that how we can calculate means EAT effective access time equal to 1 minus this P into ME, that is memory access time, plus P into page fault time. To compute the effective access time, that is EAT, we must know how much time is needed to service a page fault. How much time, okay, is needed to service a page fault. A page fault access means a page fault, it may causes, not access. A page fault causes the following sequence to occur. It will causes, okay, the following sequence to occur. The first one is trap to the operating system first. Second one, save the user registers and process state. Third one, determine that the interrupt was a page fault. Fourth one, check that the page reference was legal and determine the location of the page on the disk. Fifth one, issue a read from the disk to a local frame. So before going to that, here determine if the free frame is available. If not, swap out LRU frame, that is least recently used frame. So based on that, now here we can issue a read from the disk to a free frame. So here in this we have 3 steps again. While issuing a read from the disk to a free frame, wait in a queue for this device until read request is serviced. Wait for the device to seek and or latency time. Begin the transfer of the page to the free frame. So while waiting, allocate the CPU to some other processors and interrupt from the disk. If it is IO, whatever the completion we have to finish, you can complete. And 8th point, save the registers and the process state for the other user. Okay, if step 6 is not executed, then you do this. Okay, next 9th one, determine that the interrupt was from the disk. 10th one, correct the page table and the tables to show that the desired page is now in a memory. 11th one, wait for the CPU to be allocated to this process. Again, we have to restart, so that's why. So 12th one, restore the user registers, process state and new page table, then resume the interrupted instruction. And resume instruction means we can resume that execution from the interrupted instruction onwards. Not all steps are necessary in every case. Some steps may have overlapping overhead times. So here we have 3 major things. In any case, we are faced with 3 major components of the page fault service time. First one is service the page fault interrupt, read in the page, restart the process. Now the first and third tasks, what were they, may be reduced with careful coding to several hundred instructions. Now here we are taking an example. If you take an average page fault service time of 25 milliseconds. This is the average page fault service time, that is 25 milliseconds, and a memory access time of 100 nanoseconds. Then the effective access time in nanoseconds is, they are going to calculate EAT equal to 1 minus P into, this is the ME, that is 100, plus P into page fault reference time, that is 25 milliseconds, that is 25 milliseconds in numbers they are writing now. So that we are getting at last some value. Suppose you wanted to use demand paging only if there was no more than a 10% of degradation in performance over not paging. So this is about performance of demand paging.